나처럼 groovy하게 나처럼 groovy하게.
So I asked you guys what format you wanted for the comeback reviews, and the result was a resounding support for tier rankings, so your wish is my command. I only encoded the songs I listened to at least 3 times to form a solid opinion on it, though I still reserve the right to change my mind about the ranking of these songs, since I sometimes feel unnecessarily critical in my first impressions. Just because I didn't like a song doesn't mean I'm calling it bad, and the intent of this video is not to spread hate to any of these artists. Now, with that being said, let me explain the tiers. I created 6 of them, each with some sort of admittedly outdated reference to my ults, which I thought had the same energy as my emotions towards a certain group of songs. The format was kind of based on Angelina's, but with a few changes. At the bottom of the list, we have Cake Drop. These are songs which I just think have really messy production value, are kind of cringy, or just felt like no thought was put into them. I don't anticipate many songs falling into this category, but these are songs which I probably won't listen to again. Next up, we have Not My Style. These are songs which I just wasn't a huge fan of. I don't think they're bad songs, but I just find these a bit boring, or the concepts feel overdone. I could see these songs growing on me in the future, but a lot of these just felt underwhelming compared to previous releases by these groups. Then we have number 13.
난 이름도 없는 13번이었겠지.
These are songs which I just don't have strong feelings towards, or I kind of have to be in the mood to listen to them. I still haven't made up my mind whether I like them or not, they just kind of exist. Next, we have Motivational Speech.
You can do it, friends. You can do it. Do what? What?
These are songs which I like, but I'm not sure if I like them enough to add to my playlist. I think these songs are missing a little something, but they're enjoyable to listen to nevertheless. Getting close to the top, we have Pink Business Card. These are songs that are on my playlist, and I think they have the longevity to stick it out on the playlist for the rest of the year. I don't think the sound or concepts are the most innovative, but they're songs that I really enjoy, and ones which I've had on repeat. Finally, we have the Rainbow Dress tier. These are for comebacks which I think were cultural resets, either doing something to really make this group stand out in my opinion, or going with a concept or style which feels revolutionary to the K-pop industry. I also don't anticipate using this tier that much, and none of the releases from January made it into this category. Okay, so the first and only song that we have that made it into the bottom tier was My Turn by Cravity. Honestly, the production of the song is pretty decent, but I just couldn't listen to them singing Vroom Vroom Skirt without laughing. My problem with Cravity's title tracks is that they've really done nothing to stand out to me as a group. This just feels like an NCT song with the aesthetic of a wavier Super M music video. Up next, we have a couple of songs falling under Not My Style. The first is No Diggity by ONEUS. The song has things I like about it, namely the section with the guitar in the pre-chorus, but the elements I liked were overshadowed by that beat drop in the chorus. There is nothing about this comeback that stood out compared to all the numerous boy groups who have released similar songs and done similar concepts. As for the album, there were a couple songs I liked. My personal favorite was Rewind. Overall, I just haven't been a huge fan of the direction ONEUS' music has taken for the past few comebacks, but they do change up their concepts pretty frequently, so I'll still make sure to keep an eye out for them. Next, we have What I Said by Victon. So at first, I was extremely disappointed with this comeback, but I gave the song a couple more listens, and I don't dislike it as much as I initially did. This definitely is nowhere near as good as songs like Nostalgic Night and Howling, but I guess it's catchy and well produced. Again, it's just another edgy boy group hype song, which is far less impressive than their previous tracks, which had this signature dark, ethereal feel to them. But it's not bad. I can see why people would enjoy this comeback, but I just feel like it did nothing to solidify their identity as a group, and I personally would have preferred them just sticking to their style from before. The third song in this tier is My Treasure by Treasure. My Treasure is a cute song, but it feels more like it should be the closing song of an album instead of the title. It's sweet considering how they made it with their fans in mind, but it just lacks memorability in my opinion for anyone outside the fandom. Going Crazy still stands as their best song, so I'm hoping they go with something like that for an actual comeback in the future. Finally, we have Burn It by Golden Child. Maybe I'm in the minority of people who wasn't wowed by this comeback. This honestly sounds like it was meant to be a summer song, and while the music video is absolutely amazing, I don't think it fit the vibe of the song. The chorus was actually really good, and I liked the chanting sections, but the verses just didn't impress me, especially compared to songs like Wannabe. That being said, literally the whole rest of the mini album slaps. My favorite B-side was Breathe, but none of the B-sides are skips in my opinion, so I definitely recommend checking it out. Moving on to number 13, we have Not Cool by HyunA. HyunA's music is pretty hit or miss for me, but I actually somewhat like the song. For some reason, the drop reminds me of a Bollywood song. I don't know which one, though. It's not a super creative song, but it's a fun party anthem. I'm not always in the mood to listen to songs like this, but I think it was a solid comeback, definitely way better than Flower Shower. Next, we have Perfume by Yubin. I absolutely love the instrumental track for this song. It has a darker feel than a lot of the retro releases from last year, and whoever did the synths did an amazing job. When I first listened to the song though, I wasn't a huge fan of the vocal style she went with for this song. I just didn't like how breathy her voice sounded in certain parts. I get why she took this decision based on the concept, but it just wasn't for me. That being said, the song has grown on me with each listen. Additionally, we have X by Chungha. Listen, I love Chungha, but the song just didn't really click with me, especially compared to her other pre-release singles. Yes, I even liked Play, even though everyone else seems to hate it for some reason. I actually really like the verses and melody, but the parts where she's just speaking feel awkward within the song. I just have to be in the mood to listen to this, which is how I feel about most ballads, but I'm still super excited for Cadencia. Finally, we have Stay Young by EB6. It took me like 5 listens to remember what the song sounded like, but it's grown on me with each listen. It's a nice feel-good song. I especially like the strings and the guitar in the pre-chorus and chorus. It gives the song more of a folksy, heartfelt feel to it. I think the theme of the video suits the group really well. I feel like not enough boy groups do these sorts of laid-back concepts. Maybe I'll move this up in the future, but it's still not their best title track in my opinion. Starting off my biggest tier for the month, we have Crush by MCND. The song is oddly addictive, the chorus is super repetitive, but in this case I think it works to the song's advantage. It feels more like a really good B-side than a title track though. I think it's because the tempo and melody of the verses and the chorus is pretty much the same, whereas with a lot of title tracks there's some massive change to the chorus which makes it stand out. I also like the concept they went with. It has this teen crush feel to it which I really enjoyed. Next we have Hwaa by I-DLE. I was pleasantly surprised with this release. I think this is easily their best title track since 2018. It definitely feels like Han 2.0, but I don't really care. It's still a good song, and it's not like they keep repeating this for every comeback. My favorite part of the song is the chorus. It has this sort of magical feel to it, and I think the use of traditional instruments really complemented the song's concept. My only complaint was that I felt like the song's ending was really abrupt. I felt like a final chorus would have given it a sense of closure. Adding on, we have Thank You by YouKnow. First of all, let me just say this song has quite possibly one of the greatest music videos I've ever watched. Like, this man did not create a whole mafia movie for it to be under 2 million views. For the title track, I like the sort of jazz-inspired feel which he went with. It adds a nice sense of sophistication to the song, Plus, not to mention, TVXQ is one of the few groups who I think have really managed to explore the genre, so it's a nice continuation to their sound. I really liked the verses of the song, but the chorus wasn't as memorable as I was hoping for. His mini album, Noir, was pretty good. I enjoyed a lot of the B-sides, especially Eeny Meeny, which, by the way, features Seulgi in the music video for it. Next, we have Celebrity by IU. The song is far from IU's best, but I can appreciate a good old-fashioned simplistic pop song every now and then. I think the song has a really sweet meaning. She mentioned she wrote it about a friend, and you can really tell how much she admires this person from the heartfelt lyrics. I don't know if it's just me, but I felt like the music video sort of references some of her old songs. Her hairstyling reminds me of videos like BB and Palette. Not to mention, the leather outfit was giving me Jangman vibes. Overall, it's a nice, wholesome song which shows off IU's fun side, and I believe this was just a pre-release, so I'm excited to see what she has planned next. Finally, even though this was just a Japanese release, I wanted to include Get You Alone by Baekhyun anyways. The song has a similar vibe to EXO-SC's 1 Billion Views, which I also really love. Baekhyun's acting in this music video is so adorable, and his vocals are flawless as always. It's not my absolute favorite song by him, but I enjoyed it nonetheless. Starting off the section with my most played song of the month, we have Abittipsy by Youha. Just as I thought the synth pop trend was used to the point of no return, she releases this song. I absolutely fell in love with it from the first listen. This song feels like something that would play in the soundtrack of a teen movie. It has a sense of relatability and honesty to it, despite being a fun, dance-worthy track. I know she wrote the song and helped compose it, which is super impressive, especially considering that she only debuted a few months ago. So if there's any song in this video which I recommend you check out, it is this one. Next up, we have Love So Sweet by Cherry Bullet. Let me just say, this was hands down my favorite comeback from this month. I absolutely love this release. It feels like it took some of the best elements from several phenomenal girl group songs, including Love Bomb by Fromis9, Oopsie by Wiki Miki, and Ung Ung by A-Pink. The saccharine girl pop sound is balanced by the simplistic whistling and chanting in the post-chorus, which makes the song a lot more memorable and catchier in my opinion. The whole mini-album is phenomenal. I highly recommend checking it out. It contains this sweet, energetic sound while incorporating a sense of whimsy and joy. It was a long wait to get here, and I really hope their company gives them more comebacks in the future because they absolutely nailed this concept. Finally, no surprise here, we have Odd Eye by Dreamcatcher. First of all, let me just say how happy I am that Handong is back. I think it's no surprise that Dreamcatcher is here. All of their songs are just a complete hit for me. I really love the pre-chorus of the song. It kind of reminds me of Hate by 4 Minute for some reason. I don't think the chorus was as memorable as Scream or You and I, but nevertheless the song as a whole is a bop. Also, Dreamcatcher obviously have a sort of niche sound and concept, yet none of their songs sound the same to me, which is quite impressive. The mini-album is phenomenal. My favorite song is Poison Love. If you enjoyed Silent Night, you'll love this song. Those are all the comebacks I listened to this month, but if I missed anything that you want to hear my opinion on, let me know in the comment section. Also, let me know if you like the format of the tiers, and please share what your favorite comeback of January was down below. Thank you so much for watching.
Like